You ever do you ever forget to stand up ever so once in a while, stretch, etc.? Well, now you don't have to remember. Thanks to Mova, which is MOOVA, just reminds you to move, stretch, and gives you science-backed exercises to help you to do so. I am so grateful that it takes one thing off of my mental plate to do. Go check them out in the links below and use the code JC15, that is J as in Juliet and C as in Charlie, for, and the number 15 to get 15% off on a pay plan. Thanks to our sponsor, the Crazy Fitness Guy Show is sponsored by Block P locks out distractions so you crush your fitness goals. Autism Strong style. No more time wasters, just pure gains. Get Block P now. Link is in the show notes. That is Block P. Say goodbye to distractions and hello to success. Before you crash for the night, try breathwork in bed. Their guided sessions help you unplug, slow down, and actually rest. Head to Breathwork in Bed today and start your free 28-day trial so you can wake up more focused, more calm, and ready to tackle your goals. Visit a link in the show notes. Well, sorry, my bad. Visit the sponsorship page in the show notes. Hey, it's Jimmy Clare. Overwhelmed? Tick-Tick to-do list turns chaos into clear steps. Set it, tag it, crush it. Then move. Your goals won't wait, and neither should you. Download Tick-Tick to-do list and get it done today. It's cross-platform, and they also have a nice generous free version as well. Go to tickticktodolist.com or visit the link in the show notes. Learn new ideas every day with Deep Stash and make your next workout, study session, or workday more productive in just a few minutes. Visit deepstash.com to find out more or check out the links in the show notes.
Get ready to unleash your inner awesomeness with the Crazy Fitness Guy Show. Hosted by Jimmy Clare, renowned professional keynote speaker, podcaster, and autism advocate. This show is all about embracing what makes us unique. Join Jimmy as he shares inspiring stories, experiences, and expertise to motivate and educate. Make sure you follow our show so you never miss a brand new episode. Now let's dive into the show.
He's worked in the construction industry for 40 years. He's also a three-time champion baseball coach. And he's currently an entrepreneur working in the investment area. And he's a co-owner of the Wellbeing Marketing Agency. Well, this is going to be a great conversation today. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll save my other stuff for last, just so we can get on with the show. And one other thing. Why does shopping have to really just stink? For instance, I have in my current shoe size, I have a 10, and in the hiking boot, I'm in a 10.5. Makes sense. And I don't like shopping. I hate clothes shopping, period. I kind of like technology shopping because that's more interested in, but fashion, not my forte. But here's Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hey. Okay, how you doing, Jimmy? Thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks for being here. And sorry for my little rant, but I hate shopping. Do you like shopping?
Sometimes, it releases stress when I shop.
I think shopping causes me stress because it's either the other shoppers in the store don't know how to work self-checkout, or there's so many gosh darn choices, styles, and everything else. And it's like, I'm not going to hyperventilate going into this store.
That that could be stressful, and they don't know how to work the front desk.
Yeah. I was like, uh-oh.
Right.
So before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, how you got started, and why you got started?
Okay, so I'm born and raised in New York City. Come from a tough neighborhood growing up. I played baseball in my younger days. I was scouted by a couple of professional baseball teams. Didn't happen. That's my responsibility. It's my fault. Got into construction at a very early age. I think I was 18. I became a leader by the time I was 25. I worked with a lot of unions in New York City. I worked for a company for 18 years. And I was always a mentor. I was always a motivational speaker. And fitness was my game growing up.
That's awesome. So what made you get into baseball?
Well, baseball was like part of my therapy when I was like 11 years old. I come from a single family. My dad and mom got divorced at an early age. I got, 2 sisters and a brother, and baseball was my outlet, and so I fell in love with baseball. I actually was really good at it. And yeah, so it was one of my outlets of life was baseball.
That's awesome. For me, my stress reliever is karate. I like to, let's just say people have tell me I have really strong kicks. And I was like, no one is like, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm kicking the pad. I was like, but sorry it's a little too strong, but I need to release somehow.
Right. I'm a big UFC follower, and I see how those guys kick in the UFC.
Yeah.
It's incredible, the power behind that leg. It's incredible.
I'm like, they make it look so effortlessly, but when I do, it's like, oh, come on, leg. And it's like, don't wear out on me now.
Right.
Feel like Jello at the end.
Yeah.
Those guys can get their legs really high.
Forget it.
Yeah, I even said to people, it's like, the only way you can get my leg up that high, you have to cut it off.
Right.
Jimmy, can you touch your toes? If you cut my toes, if you cut my toes off and hand it to me, I can touch them.
Right. It's pretty awesome, man.
So, what do you need to stay? How do you need to stay healthy?
Oh, okay. So I've been lifting weights and I've been exercising for over 40 years. So I'm 65 years old. Coming this October, I have a 6-pack. I still lift. I'll never change. This is my life. The key to the whole key to it, you got to eat right. It's what you put in your body. So, like I said, I got a 6-pack. I eat all healthy foods. I eat whatever I want, basically, but, a few foods I stay away from. One of them is sugar.
Yeah. I finally got myself to, I lost 12 pounds since last semester in my college. And it feels really weird because I was like, this feels weird to feel 9 pounds lighter. And I'm actually currently working on a 6-pack at the moment. And it was kind of not always my goal, but I wanted a tighter core because last year, I know you can get back spasms whenever and however. And I did some research that this like if you have a stronger core, you're less likely to get them. And I was like, sure. I was like, it'd be better than what I experienced last year before I went to Ireland. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this ever again. It's like it was the worst back spasms ever. It's like, ow, what the hell what happened? None of my doctors even know. I was like, I thought you're supposed to know everything. Don't you have a crystal ball or something? Like, no. I was like,
Right. Well, having a strong core, Jimmy, it's actually the core, the nucleus of everything else. The back, your shoulders, your neck, your legs. So the core is like really the nucleus.
Yeah, it's kind of like the car's engine when the back goes out, everything else screws up.
Right. It's a good way to have that metaphor because, your body is like your car. It's like a vehicle. If what you put in the vehicle is how the same way your body's going to react.
Yeah. I'm like you. I stay a lot away from. I've been trying to stay away from bacon and all the processed meats. But I'm a big fan of processed meats. But now if it's like in a meal here and there, like once in a blue moon, I'd be like, okay, fine. But it's not my go-to thing. People's like, what's protein? And it's like, I don't care if it's what protein is in that thing, but it's probably like a mix of. I don't even want to know.
Right. And, you brought up, preservatives, preservatives, pesticides, you got to eliminate that from you, from your house. You don't want those kind of foods in your house. You don't want those kind of foods going through your body.
Yeah. It's like I remember, and I'm not going to say what I remember from this radio station that I was listening to one day in the car, but they were talking about what hot dogs were made out of, and after just listening to it, it's like I never want to eat another hot dog again.
Right. Exactly. Or even all the fast food places, Jimmy. McDonald's, Burger King. You have no idea what's in those foods. People love chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. They're not even real chicken. I watched this whole episode on how they make chicken McNuggets. Forget it. If you saw the episode, you'd be like, spreading the word like I am. You're just killing people. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's a reason why you don't see me at many fast food places. I might go to Chick-fil-A once in a blue moon, but even that, I mean, I'm not saying it's terrible for you once in a blue moon, but it's like, you know what? It doesn't do it for me. I don't like going out to lunch much. I'm not a big person to have many cheap meals. Now, the occasion when I'm down the shore, I like this nice brisket sandwich,
Right.
and that I have a cheap meal on. But now, before I ask you the next question, just picture this. This sandwich is like a couple nice helpings of brisket on it. It's like it just falls apart in your hands when you pick it up. Nice barbecue sauce on it, coleslaw, top on a nice bun, and it's just overflowing. And it's like you can't say no to that.
Well, once in a while as a treat, I would say, okay, good. But if you're gonna eat that like every day or once a week, I'd be like, all right, you're not doing the right justice to your body.
Yeah, no.
I agree. I mean, once in a while, you like to, I go out with my wife once in a while, we go have a piece of cheesecake. Well, we do that maybe twice a year. And that's like a treat to us.
Yeah.
We're both on a movement. The movement is stay away from unhealthy food, eat healthy food, and these are the results.
So what made you get into health and wellness?
I got into health and wellness because growing up, I see a lot of people that were close to me. I saw them all go down, eating unhealthy. They got involved into drinking. They got involved into drugs. And when I saw the path that they were going down, I ran the other way. I said, that's not the path I want. So I always stayed in the health and wellness. I like feeling good. I like, the dopamines that you get from working out. When you're training in karate, you get good dopamines, and that's what I want. I want the healthy dopamines. I don't want, the dopamines from drugs.
Yeah, for me, I got into working out because I was getting bullied for 8 years, most like 8 years of my life, going to public school. These bullies called me names, told me I was fat, and to be honest, I was fat growing up. It got to a point where my doctor told me I needed to lose some weight. Though I kind of thought my doctor was a little bit of a hypocrite because he was a little heavy too. And it's like, No. It's like, don't go pointing fingers. It's like, that never ends well.
I'm I'm sorry I wasn't your friend back then. I would have defended you.
Well, thank you. But but you know, I always say to people that it was better that I defended myself, because I think I had a very, very low self-esteem back then, because just I I knew I wasn't like the super athletic type, like overall, because anybody who sees me like standing on, like just in person, knows I have lopsided shoulders, my knees point inward. So it's not like I'm so like I want to be like a big football player, basketball player. No, that's not me. Even MMA is like, I like karate, but I can never go in the ring because of my my
Right.
my spinal stenosis, and so. But I know. So I got into wellness to stand up to the bullies, because when I lost the 30 pounds,
Yeah.
I had the motivation to stand up to them.
Good.
And it felt really good, because I pretty much yelled, cursed, and everything else that I was not supposed to do in public school, and right into the bully's face. And it felt really good, because I felt like I was on top of the world.
Right. And plus, you defended yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Even that's important. I was just telling my wife yesterday, I had a fight with the toughest kid in the school. He was a bully. And I was the only guy in the school that stood up to him, and I fought him, fist fight. He beat me. I won't deny it. But from that day forward, he became my friend. And anyone else that he was bullying, I would defend them. He would listen to me. He would respect me.
Jeez.
So it became respect. You know, he respected me. You know, if a guy came to me, say his name is John, and say, Chris, you know, Chester's, you know, he's picking on me, he's bullying me. I go talk. He said, why don't you leave John alone? And he listened to me. So it does work. You got to stand up for yourself in life.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me, and kind of reminds me of going back to my high school reunion last year.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this one guy, one of the bullies that was there, and when I stood up to him back in 2011, he said, I made it very clear to stay the hell away from me. But so even though this guy, like, he walked by me at the reunion,
Yeah.
didn't say one word to me, and it's like, I wonder if I scared him straight or something.
Oh,
Because like, even though I had like a different like hairstyles, different look, a little bit more shredded physique. I mean, not like bodybuilder material or anything. Not looking for that. I'm just trying to keep lean, healthy, at karate, and we're just like. But when he just walked by me, I was like, I wonder if he recognized me, or he just like, I should stay the hell away from this guy.
Yeah, he probably said that. Let me stay away from you.
Yeah, I know I would have done anything there anyway, but I was like,
yeah, you know, most of that stuff, Jimmy, it's all in the mind. It's not how tough you are, how strong you are. It's all up here, all in the mind. That's all it is. Even with a bully, it's all in his head. Everything's in his head.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if we also most likely probably didn't even recognize me much either, because no one had name tags on each other's shirt, which was really kind of annoying, because I could have maybe talked to some people that no one got to know me. Only a very few people got to know me in high school, but then the other half didn't really care to get to know me. But I was like, maybe I could have taken a leap of faith, because I heard some people's names and I kind of remember the faces. But, you know, I always felt kind of awkward if I went up to them. It was like, okay, I remember his name used to be this, but what if some guy changed his name in the years of high school and now? And then it's like, well, then I look like a total tool. So I was like, should have handing tags.
Right. Happiness.
But they didn't. I was like, damn it. So my next question for you is, what keeps you going with working out? How do you stay motivated to keep doing what you're doing? Because I know some people who sometimes get tired of doing the same old. Say, no, I just do weightlifting on these, let's say 3 days a week and something else on the 3 others. It gets boring after a while.
Right. Well, it's a great question. So here, one of the happiest times every day in my life is when I go to the gym. I am so happy when I'm exercising. It's unbelievable, Jimmy. I put my headset on. I got all my old classic rock and roll, Led Zeppelin, just Rolling Stones. I am the happiest person in that 1 hour while I'm working out. I never dread going to the gym. I never go like, oh, I got to go to the gym. I got to do chest day. Oh, I never do the, oh. I'm always like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready. So I motivate myself. And what I notice is in the last 40 years, when I'm working out, a lot of guys migrate around me. You know why? They pick up my energy, Jimmy. I have a lot of energy, and they pick it up. I'm always supersetting. If I do a set of curls, I drop it. I do a set of shoulders right away. I don't sit on my phone, text. I don't take phone calls. Nobody can contact me while I'm working out. I'm sorry, that's my time. So when you're in the gym, remember, it's your time. Keep it to yourself, be motivated, and then you'll see people start migrating around you because they want your energy. And that's how I stay motivated.
For me, what I do is that even when I find something getting stale a little bit, whether it's a routine or just, we did this kind of exercise or whatnot. So I remember one week when I was at the shore, I was like, I'm really bored. I don't know what I want to do. And so I decided to go for a bike ride. And then the next day I decided, I don't know if I want to do this either. So I just decided to do Pilates one day because it's like, do I feel like weightlifting? No. And so let me just switch it up.
Right. And you know what? That's the key word. Switch it up. You got to switch it up. So that's how you stay motivated. Is you got to switch it up. So that's what I do. I always switch up routines. I don't do the same routine all the time. I switch it up. And that's the key word that you just mentioned. So I switch it up.
Yeah. I even do that in my own business because, for instance, I keep preparing for a trip that I'm going to next month. I was kind of thinking, should I do the article first and then do the podcast, or do I do the podcast first like I always do? And then I feel like, I don't feel like doing the article or whatnot. I decided to do the article first because that's many more steps than the podcast. And
Right.
pretty much the podcast editing I can literally do in my sleep. I mean, it's not boring, but it's just like, I got it down to a science. And it's like, I had to cut this, like I could cut those. No, I don't like this. And where the articles, I have to write, I have to copy and paste, I have to add images, I have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, too many things. It's like, let's go do the tougher one first, and then let's go to the something lighter.
Right.
And it's like, this was a good choice. And it's like, I might do that next time around for next month, just so I don't have to feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Right. I get it. I understand. But like, you got to, always, like you said, you got to just keep dedication, discipline, all of those words, patience, and everything else is just easy. I'm 65. I'm never gonna stop this. I'm gonna keep going. I was born to do this, Jimmy.
Yeah, me both. I've been working out since 2011. I have never stopped except for the weeks when I've been sick.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like here and there once in a blue moon. But other than that, because like, I had someone on my show the other day. He was like, yeah, as long as I'm not contagious, I go to the gym even if I'm not feeling 100%. And I was like, I'm not one of those people. And it's like, I'm one of those people who believe if my body's telling me I need to rest, I'm going to rest.
Right.
And not mean like, oh, rest and never do anything ever again. And it's like, if you're sick and your body's telling me, it's like, slow down. It's like, I'm not a robot. I can't just keep going boom, 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 because it's like, oh, I wish I would get a lot done.
Right. Right. Well, I recommend 5 days on, 2 days off. You have to have the body needs rest, you know? So that's what my regimen is, 5 days, 2 days off.
For me, I pretty much do 2 days off. I do light yoga on Saturdays just because during the week I kind of like doing something challenging just to keep up with karate and that kind of stuff and weightlifting. But then on Saturday, I know for myself that I was never always a big yoga fan until I started having those, let's just say, the back spasms last year. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to start stretching out, and I always do some kind of warm up, but I didn't feel like I was giving myself enough rest, and so I was like, okay, even if I do a little bit, nothing like super brutal yoga, but just like enough to maybe have a little bit of a sweat and to feel like, okay, it feels good. And just to keep my flexibility for karate, because I've seen some people in karate, and I'm not making fun of them or anything, but some of them who are not flexible, they hurt themselves, or it's like, oh, I hurt my mom, or I hurt this leg, or it's like, you gotta stretch. It's like, you gotta be more flexible. Even if you're just doing dynamic stretching, so you're not hurting your muscle growth and whatnot. And it's like, gotta do something. It's like, some people come in, it's like, I didn't warm up. And it's like, if I didn't warm up, I feel like I shot my arm across the across the bag. Holy God.
Right. Listen, on your spasms, I would recommend castor oil. I would go buy some organic castor oil and rub it on your back. Watch in 2 days how relaxed your body is, your back. You won't get those spasms. Castor oil, it's a very big thing today, is castor oil.
Is it expensive?
No, you could buy it for like, I think, $20, $20, $25. But I strongly recommend castor oil.
I'll check it out.
All right.
Thanks for sharing that with me.
You're welcome, Jimmy. You're welcome.
So my next question for you is, in your opinion, how can people start working out and having fun with it? Because one of the sayings on one of the walls at karate is like, working out doesn't have to be a chore. Have fun with it.
Right. Exactly. And good question. All right. So for guys, I wrote a book, right? Here's my book, Jimmy. How to increase testosterone naturally, right?
Yep.
So a guy, he should go get his testosterone level checked. Now, the reason why I say it, because if it's below 300 nanograms, that's why he's not working out. He's tired, fatigued, pressed. So testosterone plays a big factor in your motivation. And us guys, we need testosterone. We need it for muscle, maintaining your muscles. We need it for brain fog. So I would go get my testosterone level checked first and see where I'm at. If you're below 300, you need to go on a program. And I recommend a natural program. Don't start taking steroids, testosterone shots. I don't recommend that. I'm not saying you have to go buy my book, but do your research. My website is healingwarriors.com. Everything's on my website of how to increase testosterone naturally. I'm also a coach. I coach people, during the week. So to stay happy at the gym, first you got to get your testosterone level checked. For women, they have to work on estrogen. Okay, we don't want estrogen. That's a woman hormone. We don't want that. So, yeah. So that's how you get started.
I think from I think for a few tips from my end, I would say if you don't feel like forking over money for a gym membership, I would say try something online. One of my online platforms I use is called FitOn. It's free, or there's a membership for $30 a year that you can that you get a meals plans. You may have to, depending on if you have resistance bands or you want weights. Resistance bands, at least you can't cheat with them. I tried cheating with it. It does not work very well. I was like, I can't cheat with this. I've been so my resistance band that I have, it comes in it comes with two handles. It's adjustable. It's adjustable to like 150 pounds.
Right.
Not that he is 150 pounds, but I was like, just in case if I ever need this. In total, it was like $20 off of Amazon, 25, maybe something along those lines.
Right.
That's what I would say. Try an online platform and maybe resistance bands if you don't feel like spending a gym membership, because just because, like, some people don't feel like spending $100 a month or $10 a month to drive to their gym, especially in the cold weather, versus, hey, I can work out in my house. And for people who might say, I don't have room in my house. Okay, before we move on to the episode, just picture this real quick. I'll see, like, in my room, here's the bed on the left. I mean, on the right. Left on the screen, and then my desk takes up most of the room. So just in between that is like about 14 inches of space. If I can work out in 14 inches of space, no one has an excuse.
Exactly. There's an old saying: if you have a floor in your house, start doing push-ups. Turn around and start doing sit-ups or crunches. As long as you got a floor, you can exercise.
Exactly. See, this is why I like you. We both have the same exact mindset.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. And you know what, Jimmy? I'm going to add something else. If you eat healthy, you'd be surprised how much fuel and energy you feel by eating healthy. When you eat unhealthy, it's like, let's go back to the car metaphor. The car doesn't run right when you're not eating healthy. So your body's not going to run right. So if you're eating healthy, watch how much energy and fuel your body gets. So you get on your bicycle and you go and do push-ups on your little 14-inch floor that you got. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I can even attest to that quite a bit, because when I eat too many junk food and too many processed foods,
right,
and or something from the can or whatnot, too much sodium for me, I get very, very bad headaches. I mean, they're not even migraines, but they're just so bad. I was like, oh, that doesn't feel good.
Right. I agree with you. I agree. So don't go near it. Don't do it.
Yeah. So now I keep it at a very arm's length, and only once in a blue moon I might treat myself to something like that. But other than that, I'm like, I don't need it. It's like, now that's the only times when I seem to get a headache is when I'm sometimes if I'm overly stressed, if I'm just overly processing too much information.
Right.
I get information over really quick.
Right. I understand.
That's what I said to the sales associate in the store today. It's like, can you help me find this stuff? Because it's like, I hate shopping. She's like, I think everybody hates shopping. It's like, but other people make it look so gosh darn easy.
Right.
If it's like food shopping, I got the whole grocery store down by. It's like, oh, I know where that is. Clothes shopping, don't even get me started.
Right. Okay. All right.
So my next question for you is, what got you into coaching?
Coaching baseball or coaching?
Hey Warriors, Jimmy Clare here. Tired of mainstream fitness BS? Unlock Crazy Fitness Guy's Elite Podcasts. You'll get exclusive merch, exclusive episodes, and bonus motivation or divergent wellness hacks. Blow up your game now. Go to crazyfitnessguy.com and click on the mall link, or click on the link in the show notes to view pricing and more information.
People.
Both.
Coaching baseball, I really didn't know that I was going to coach baseball. There's like a little story behind it. I played for this league, all elite players, and the president of the league had came to me and said, "Chris, we got to shut down the senior division baseball." I said, "Why?" He says, "We have no money to support it." I said, "Well, how much do you need?" His name was Bobby. I said, "How much do you need, Bobby?" And he told me how much he needed. So I said, "All right, let me go to my car and write you a check." So I wrote him a check. He started crying. I said, "No need to cry." He said, I didn't expect this. So I said, "Well, here's the check. Now what? Now you could buy uniforms, balls, baseballs. You could pay the umpires. What else do you need?" He goes, "We need a coach." I said, "Oh, are you kidding me?" He said, "No." I said, "All right, I'll coach the team." And that's how I became a coach in baseball. I coached them. They won 3 championships back to back to back, 3 years in a row.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was really pretty intense. There's newspaper articles on my website. There's a whole story behind it. Yeah, it was pretty intense. I enjoyed myself doing that. And to answer your question about coaching people, I'm part of a movement, Jimmy. And my part of the movement is to be healthy. Growing old is a choice. You want to sit on the couch, eat popcorn, watch, 5 movies, drink Coca-Cola, Pepsi, that's your life. Or what I do is I coach people not to do that. I coach them to have fun the way I have fun. Maybe they'll see the light too.
I definitely agree with that, because I say to people when they come on my show, I always tell everybody, it's like, what people want to do with their lives is up to them. I'm not a person to judge. I've been judged pretty much since the day I was born. Why am I going to do that to others? I'm not going to judge. I'm going to tell you, like, hey, it's not all about being skinny and muscular. It is about being more healthy, mindfulness of what you're eating. Not preaching this to you. I'm just sharing you my story, other people's story. So take it, don't take it, whatever. No criticism or judgment by me.
Right.
Well, I only judge myself by the people, what I look like in the mirror. And I'm not like critical about like my appearance or anything, but I was like, when I gained that extra 12 pounds because of stress and everything else during the last semester, I was like, I don't like this feeling of this extra weight on me. And I was close to where I started 3 pounds short of where I started from when I first started. So I was like, I told myself, and I promised myself I would never, ever, ever get back to it ever again. And I almost slipped, and it's like, no. And it's like, once the semester is over, it's like, it's done.
Well, you know what? Let's go to self-care and self-love. To be healthy, you don't have to have big muscles. You don't have to have all that. You have to be healthy inside. So go back to self-love. Do you love yourself? That's what I never ask people or talk to people unless they want to talk to me about health. I never bring it up. If somebody's overweight and they come to me for help, I'll talk to them. But I don't walk up to somebody that's overweight and start talking to them, "Hey, you want to get healthy?" I never do that. I stay away from that. You know why? That only causes a problem. So if you want the help, you contact me and I'll help you. That's how I operate. So let's go back to self-love. You got to love yourself. You know, you love the car that you drive every day. Do you put good oil and good gas in that car? I'm sure you do. Do the same thing with your body.
Definitely. It's kind of like somebody doesn't like cars. It's kind of like if somebody likes computers, it's like, do you have a case for your computer? How's that? Well, if you have all this other stuff protected and whatnot, warranty, or I mean, like security stuff on your computer, it's like, well, how about you take care of your body too?
Right. You only have one life, Jimmy. You don't get two lives. You get one life. So it's how you treat it. So eating healthy, exercise, being kind, love yourself before you love somebody else. Those are all the things about living once. This is one time in a lifetime. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. And that's how I live my life. I'm 65. Before I die, I hope a lot of people listen to this podcast and they get a little bit out of it. They don't have to get the whole thing. Just get a little glimpse of what you and I are discussing.
Yeah, and you know, I always say on the show that you know, health and wellness doesn't have to cost a whole fortune. Like, I actually added up the prices the other day because, like, you know, food prices high, etc. And I was like, if I cooked a whole meal for myself, it cost probably like maybe 20, 30 something bucks for one person, give or take, because like you know, because most likely when you open a chicken package, package of chicken, you're probably going to cook all of them anyway. Just say you have leftovers.
Right.
But anyway, because I've been eating these frozen healthy meals called Healthy Choice meals from my grocery store. And each box is like $4 to $8. I mean, $4 to $5 each. And I know it's only for one meal or two meals a day, like for lunch or dinner. And even if I eat two of them for either meal or both meals or whatever, it still costs more cost effective than it is for a whole meal, because like, think about it. Let's say, for instance, one recipe calls for like tomato paste. You have to buy this huge big tube, or that tube, whatever inflation's looking like these days, like this big or this big. I don't and then like meat is so gosh darn expensive these days. So I was like, well, what's kind of cool about these meals is like you get your proteins, you get your carbohydrates, you get your vegetables, all in this like circle or square container, and there's your meal. And I was like, there's not much you can eat on $4 these days.
No, I don't think so.
And it's actually made with real chicken, so it's
right.
I did read the ingredients.
Okay, good.
And according to one of my other apps on my phone that I do scan barcodes to see if it's healthy or not,
Right.
it did say, it gave me a green light. So it was like, it's good. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know how 100% accurate it is. I don't know how accurate it is, but I was like, well, it gave me green, so I'm gonna go with it.
That's good.
Again, I mean, I'm not eating them every day for every single meal, but it just like, just because, you know, I used to like to cook and everything, but now just like everything's so expensive. Like, just for this one recipe, it's like $30. Holy crap! And it's like I could eat a couple of meals for the next couple of days. Four.
Right. Okay, good. That's good.
I was like, oh, I'm tired of seeing the big grocery store.
Good.
Like, tired.
Are you taking any supplements?
Yeah, I have my protein drink right now. Currently, vitamins. Just because, and one thing I look at for in vitamins, I always look for USP because they have stricter guidelines than the FDA.
Right.
I don't know how strict they're, but that's what I've heard. And I kind of USB has only one functionality versus the FDA. Not picking on the FDA, but just saying that they have many. Do food, drug, and everything else. And it's like, well, if they have too many titles, they have uh, something suffers.
Right, right, right.
It's like,
I recommend buying organic supplements. If you could buy organic supplements, you're better off than regular supplements.
yeah. I haven't found. I don't think the stores that I go to at the moment that has organic. There is a Whole Foods, but
Yeah, Whole Foods is good. You know, that's where I shop. I also shop on Amazon. Amazon, you can look through them. There's a lot of organic products, supplements you can buy on Amazon.
yeah. Right now, I've been getting my supplements at Costco, and I go. I haven't found a lot of USP verified stuff, but when I do, I tend to go for those just because of higher restrictions, a
Right.
little bit higher. Again, I don't have high because
Okay.
I'm not in that department. If only.
All right. Well, I want to recommend to your audience, if they can get on taurine, Taurine. Taurine is a great supplement for men.
What does it do?
It's good for the nervous system. It'll provide energy. It increases testosterone. It's good for obesity. If you're overweight, take taurine. Prevents cardiovascular, regulates metabolism. It's one supplement I strongly recommend is taurine.
Good to know.
And
One thing I started taking vitamins again because there was a while that I decided not to take vitamins. And the reason why I got into vitamins because I admit, even though I am a lot healthier than when I was years ago, it was, let's just say, I admit that I don't always get all my fruits and vegetables every single day. I was like, okay, if I can get a little help from this, not fully rely on it, but just a little help is like every bit counts.
right.
Because I admit, because like, what if I'm like traveling for work and whatnot? Oh, I didn't have all my fruits and vegetables.
Mhm.
I need something.
Right, right. You mentioned protein shake, right? Yeah. In that protein shake, right? When I make mine, I add pumpkin seeds because they're high in zinc, cashews because they're high in protein and minerals. So I throw a lot of nuts, Brazilian nuts, all in my protein shake. Strawberries, blueberries, banana. I make like a meal out of my protein shake. So basically, you can have a tall protein shake for lunch, and you could just go on to dinner later. You don't have to prepare no lunch. It's like a lunch.
Yeah, for me, I have the shake mix, meal replacement shake mix.
Yeah.
I'm actually considering I might stop it soon, just because I don't say I wouldn't say it's super expensive, but it's pricey depending on people's financials. None of my business or anything, but it's like auto payment and then whatever you want to call it. It's like I think it's like $74 a month, give or take.
Mhm.
So 28 servings, not the best. So it doesn't give you, let's say there's like 30 days in a month.
Mhm.
Because I only have it once a day, I tend to get through a month. I tend to let it go through. It gets to me into the next month and the month after, etc. And I have had it on a couple of them, so now I can bring some back and forth to the shore.
Right.
I don't know if I want to keep up with it, just because it is pricey, and I was like, well, we could save some money here, and I could just make my own shakes from this protein powder that we already have. That's like,
Right, that's what I do. It's just, you don't need to buy that. Just stay on the protein powder.
yeah. And I mean, and like I said, I've been kind of weighing back and forth because every time when I see that, it's like, hey, this shipped and it's $74, and then I said to myself, like, if I was living on my own, would I be paying for this at the moment? And I was like, probably not.
Right.
There's this one big jar that I got from Amazon. It's like a little bit it's like $100, but it's like 5 pounds versus 28 servings. It's
Okay.
there's like $100 for 74 or 74 for 28.
Right.
Oh, easy math.
Right, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, so I just had to share that. Just and now that I said that on my head, it kind of now makes even more sense for me. Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
So my next few questions for you is, who's your favorite podcaster and why? And feel free not to say me.
My favorite podcast is my wife.
She has a podcast?
She has a podcast. My wife's podcast is A Quest for Well-Being. It's all about health, well-being, grief, loss, people who lost others. Shamans are on her podcast. I think she has 1,300 episodes published on her website.
Jeez.
Yeah, she did a lot of them. Yeah. So she's my favorite podcaster. I also like Joe Rogan.
She makes me look bad. I only have almost 80 episodes.
That's okay. You keep going. You'll catch up. Keep going.
Yeah, no. I said to people, like, the reason why I only do it once a month is because I said it's a marathon, not a sprint, and how likely am I to burn out monthly if I do it? If I do it monthly, would I burn out more, or would I do, or would I not burn out much in a month? And I was like, okay, let's do a month first. If I do weekly, how can I consistently do that? Because I'm still in college at the moment, so if I do it weekly, I'm afraid I would put too much on my plate, and then I can't do it. And then I was like, monthly, at least I can play around with the dates. It's like, oh, well, I have something to do over here for school or something else. Oh, well, I can just switch really quick.
Okay, good. How's your audience? You got a big audience?
Yeah, at the moment currently I have around 300 a month.
Okay, good.
I almost, beginning of this year, I was 200 shy away from 1,000 a month.
Okay.
I was kicking myself in the behind. It's like, if only it wasn't for that math semester, I would have gotten that 200 freaking month.
Okay.
I keep on having this aftermath. No pun intended.
Yeah. You're a good host. You're a good host.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
So my last question for you is, where can people follow you and find you and learn more about who you are and what you do?
Okay, well, you can go to my website. It's healingwarriors.com. All the information is on my website. I think my phone number. I'm on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. There'll be a lot of content on my YouTube channel. I do demonstrations of, how to work out with a hernia. I wrote a book on hernia without surgery. Most people get a hernia, they run and they go get surgery. I got a hernia 14 years and I self-healed. So, and I wrote a book about it, because I don't want people running to go and get surgery right away. So yeah, to answer your question, I'm on Instagram, YouTube channel, healingwarriors.com is my website, and everything is there. All the links are there to contact me.
Awesome. I'll put that on the show notes.
Thanks.
And I would definitely love to have you back on my show again at some point because I really enjoyed our conversation, and I definitely think we have more to talk about, especially because, but unfortunately, we can talk about fitness all day. Damn, I would love to.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me on our show, Jimmy. And just keep in touch. You know how to follow me on Instagram.
Definitely, and I'll follow you, and let's stay in touch.
Okay, thank you so much, Jimmy.
Have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you too now.
Bye. So that's all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed the show, let me know. Leave us a review. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Jimmy Clare Speaker on Facebook and Instagram, and Jimmy Clare Speaker on Twitter. You can follow Crazy Fitness Guy at Crazy Fitness Guy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can make sure you follow the Weekly Motivation with Crazy Fitness Guy on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Blast Radio. And once this episode goes live, you can listen to Apple, Google, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast. And if you want to help support the show and help keep the show up and running, subscribe to Crazy Fitness Guy's premium podcast to get behind-the-scenes access, listen ad-free, and you get exclusive merch, exclusive access to our Discord server, which gives you extra more features than Facebook crappy groups. Did I say that on live? Oh no. That's how I think about Facebook. And make sure you check out the Crazy Fitness Guy's mall at mall.crazyfitnessguy.com to check out all the stuff, swag, the podcast, the premium podcast, and other stuff on the mall. Everything in one place. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay motivated. And I'll be back for another brand new episode of Crazy Fitness Guy Health Room Podcast / Weekly Motivation with Crazy Fitness Guy. In the meantime, peace.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Crazy Fitness Guy Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review so more people can find us. In the meantime, use the links in the show notes to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, shop for swag, read blog posts, watch videos, and listen to the latest episodes. In the meantime, visit CrazyFitnessGuy.com to see what we are up to in between episodes. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay motivated.